On tonight's special report, we'll be celebrating a phenomenal woman who simply thrived through cancer by holding on to her miracle.
My name is Warugi, Patricia, as many people know me, but I prefer Warugi. I find that it is true to who I am, based on even the person I'm named after, my grandmother. I have had an interesting life. 6 years ago. Yes. Why that time is very memorable in my life, I had had my periods for 4 months since December 2012. My gynecologist had done everything from hormonal treatments to pills to injections to everything. But for some weird reason, my periods were just not stopping. So my doctor says, you know what? We need to test for further things. We need to say if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. So we do tests and I'm checked. And yes, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is excess cysts in your ovaries. I had so many in my system that they needed a surgery to remove them. Unfortunately, I have a history of cancer from my mom's side, my mom's mom. They laparoscopically removed a polyp. Once they removed one polyp, they checked and it came back cancerous. And so the funny thing is I don't think I took it as seriously as it ended up being. For me, I was very positive. It was good. Like, talked to my doctor, so what does he say? We'll do surgery, chemo, pap. So for me, I felt, and because they got it early, and my doctors were very positive about the treatment and what was going to happen, it didn't shock me, it didn't push me. What killed me were the reactions and setbacks and bumps that we met in the road during my treatment. The first appointment when I was told, I was by myself. So I called my husband, told him, let's go have a drink. So we went, had a drink, and I told him, oh, by the way, so now this thing, and Moreu says we have to operate, and and we'll do 1 round of chemo, but da-da-da-da. And I told my parents. So my second visit, I had my husband, my mother, my father, a family friend, as in like my mother-in-law, were all in the room with me at the time of the second, and had more questions than I did. Me, I knew I will go sit, get a drip, run for 7 hours, khalas, go home.
So the element of denial actually made this journey easier for her. Fear of the unknown consumes anybody, and she didn't let that creep in. She took this on with a positive attitude, and it helped her thrive.
Now the side effects are what killed me. Whereby I have finished, yes, I can't stand. And the first day I stood, my mother was helping me, and I flooded myself with ficus. And now you're like, sasa uyu, tunamweka kwa gari gani, tumwoshe, tununue nguo, as in like, what do? And you cannot, you don't even have the energy to even comprehend what is happening. You can't think for yourself what is happening. At that time, when you feel death, you're so tired. You're sick. The taste of metal in your mouth, you want to vomit and you're a burden, and my mother wants to cry and my husband doesn't know where to start from, and it was horrible.
This is a sad reality where the individual's strength is tested. Mentally, physically, psychologically, and the family support system has to be so strong, because at this point in time it is either a make or break point for the individual to get through.
As this is happening, that was in June. I had my wedding coming up, August 24th. I cancelled it. Actually, my former HR called Annabelle is the one told me, no, you need something to look forward to, something good to happen to you, so you need to go ahead with this day, okay? And I'm like, I can't, I don't have, my energy is to come to work on my good days. On my bad days, I'm not coming to work, okay? And that is all I have. The thought of getting a dress, makeup, I don't want, I didn't feel justifiable, like I deserved that. So we do our wedding.
I could stay like this forever.
Honeymoon manenos, direct to Reddington, you know? And what am I going to do? Chemo. So I get to Reading. What have we carried in my handbags? No lingerie, no sexy manenos. I have all my documentations and things from the doctor, and you know, so that I give to the other doctor. And we went. And we were there for 3 weeks, and we did the chemo, and it went very well. During this 3 weeks, the first week, the doctor there tells me I cannot get pregnant unaided. In the UK, they'd found out my kidneys, my left kidney is not functioning. Therefore, they had talked about possible transplant. Okay. So actually, so we come back home. Things are good. I come to work. Back life is normal. I'm talking with my oncologist. We're monitoring and we're doing. So I'm thinking maybe something is very wrong with my kidney. My creatine levels are all over the place. I need help. So I went for lab work. My HCG levels are high. So I go back to my oncologist and I'm like, why is this HCG level high? And I'm like, this guy asked me if I'm pregnant. And I'm like, he's like, do you want to test? Because this shows either you're pregnant or your kidneys have failed. I'm like, So I buy a kit. I waited for morning. It showed 2 lines. So I tell my doctor, these things say I'm pregnant. And this HCG test says, so someone somewhere is incorrect. So he's like, well, clearly, you're pregnant.
A miracle is a shift of perception from fear to love. And in her case, it was the unconditional love that she found the minute she found out that she was pregnant.
The downside, I went to see my nephrologist, and my nephrologist says that my kidney cannot hold a pregnancy. So I have 2 options. I terminate my pregnancy or carry the baby to term and die. Those were my 2 only options. I think that was the moment that my cancer was a pain in my body. It was horrible. It was how. And my husband is team toy. You know, we'll get others, this. And I'm like, this is my miracle. I was not to get a baby. I could not get pregnant unaided. So they called an intervention because I refused. I was like, I'm not, this is my baby. If I die, then at least a part of me will leave and you will be able to have a part of me that will continue. He's my miracle, you know. So now, because this is the information, and now all my doctors agreed with my nephrologist, I said, no, I need a 4th opinion. And we decided to go to India. And we went to India, which was a good thing. And they were like, it won't be easy. But you can make it, and you don't need a transplant, and we can do certain things. And we will be able to do. And let me tell you, for the first time in a year of that journey, I was back at ease, you know, and I knew I would do anything and everything for my little one. And I worked all through. Okay, I had days when I went to work and I felt like at 1 p.m., but it was my miracle. And it was a great journey. So I gave birth. After I gave birth, I had been told I breastfeed for 3 months. And then I stop, and then I go back to India for 1 round of chemo. From the moment that we did the first operation to clear it till now. And it's not been easy. There's scares, you know, you get your periods, they're too thick or too light or too long or too, and you're like, oh Lord, this thing is back. And it could be, I can honestly say that maybe for the past 2 years where I have had to go for my checkups every year rather than the 6 months is when I am finally accepting that I am in remission. 5 years cancer-free. I have always wanted, you know, you see people who go for these makeovers, you see them on magazines and
I decided to call over a whole team for her to show my gratitude and make her feel special.
Friends really didn't change, my close friends. My family also didn't change per se, but there were relatives who spoke. Actually, someone in our workplace said I was faking it, that I didn't have it. And I'm like, wow, of all things to put on myself, this one is real. And my husband told me, such your burden. You don't know what someone else is going through, so don't speak. So if you do not have anything good to say, keep your mouth shut.
Because she inspires me. So this is just from one thriver to another.
I'm a compulsive liar. Because I will tell the truth about certain things. Most of the times I will tell the truth. Yeah? 90% of the times I will tell the truth. Even in regards to my children or whoever, even my spouse. Yeah? When you are a liar, especially a compulsive liar or a pathological liar, you are a good liar. You have no choice but to keep up the appearances. You have no choice but to remember what you said when you said it, be it 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 years ago.
But you're very intelligent. You remember details.
But that's not, it's not, but that's the line. Because you also don't want to be caught. Now the thing with cancer is that it has become the it disease. Anyone who has it, and we do not look at it with the struggles, and I know many people who have had it, and so I know the repercussions that it has on one's health, one's well-being, both physically and mentally and spiritually. But the thing is, you don't think that far when you're at that point. The bigger the issue, the more attention you'll give me. So if it is a cough, everyone gets a cough. Yeah, but if I get pneumonia and you, for example, Anjali, are my friend, you'll call me and check up on me. Have you been? Have you done? Who gets most attention or who gets most sympathy, for example? It would be someone probably with cancer, you know. Cancer is the biggest lie I have told. You don't see it like that at that point. You get, I don't know if you understand me. You don't see the befores and the afters don't matter. The feeling then is a high. Yes, it's a high. You know, if I tell you, Anjali, don't worry, I will go to this and this and this for you. I will take you to this and this place. I could be lying to you, but how does it make me feel? Be like, oh gosh, thank you so much. Na 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 na. It makes me look better. It makes me feel better then. At that point, the repercussions and the consequences are not in your head at that